Hello everyone. Welcome to Dr. Shankaran's online homeopathy Instagram page. Today is a very special day and we are going to have in-depth conversations with two amazing homeopaths and a mother on the importance of mental health. Today is World Mental Health Day and homeopathy has helped in the area of mental health over a long period of time, and it is one of the most suitable modes of treatment for various issues pertaining to mental health. So I welcome you all today and thank you for joining in on a beautiful Sunday. And I see a lot of you joining in right now. So thank you for joining us and taking your time to join us on the Sunday Live. So what is Dr. Shankaran's online homeopathy Instagram page? This page basically is to promote Dr. Shankaran's online homeopathy website, which aims to bring the brilliance of the best homeopathic doctors and the treatment to the comfort of your homes. So you can just open your computer, log on to their website and book an appointment with any of the 4 doctors who are on this portal, who have been chosen by none other than Dr. Rajan Shankaran himself. These doctors who are on the portal have been trained by Dr. Rajan Shankaran, and they have imbibed his work ethics, his beautiful way of case taking, and you can be rest assured that when you log on to this portal, your healing journey will begin. So I hope you all do log on to the website and take the advantage of the best homeopathic treatment through Dr. Shankaran's online homeopathy portal. So today on World Mental Health Day, we aim to bring it to awareness, the importance of mental health. It is very important, and let's together, all of us, try and understand what mental health is, why is it important, what is the role of homeopathy to help mental health issues, especially in children and adolescents. We are trying to target this audience because I think the child of today is the man of tomorrow. If we take care of the children today, of their mental well-being, we can be rest assured that their future will be bright and healthy. So let us not forget on this very important day that we mobilize everything that we have here and bring to this portal right now, all the importance of mental health. Let's discuss this from our hearts. So we have Dr. Faiza Khan, who is going to join us soon. And she is basically she's graduated, she's a homeopath, graduated from CMP Medical College, and her area of expertise lies in women's health, counseling, and psychology. And she has worked with various skilled homeopaths, including the eminent psychiatrist and homeopath Dr. Mahesh Gandhi. She considers Dr. Rajan Shankaran to be her mentor, and she gets a lot of inspiration from his unique method of case taking, which has helped her heal a lot of her own patients. So let me invite Dr. Faiza Khan as I introduce her to all of you right now.
How are you?
Hello, Dr. Faiza. Thank you. I'm good. Thank you very much for being with us live today. And, I was telling our audience a little bit about you and the area of mental health, which has been such a prominent aspect of your expertise. Yes, and I must tell our audience that Dr. Faiza Khan has worked with various NGOs and she aims to educate the masses, especially the underprivileged children, in various fields like menstrual health, women's health, and she's done a lot, or she loves to conduct talks to spread the awareness of homeopathy and wellness in general. So, Dr. Faiza, that's wonderful. And one of the things that I must tell you all is that she is a COVID warrior. She has worked with the NESCO team. And during the pandemic, when it was really, really difficult, she has also offered free treatment to COVID patients, which is a very, very noble thing. So, Dr. Faiza, really, we are so, so happy and proud to have a COVID warrior today
Thank
on
you,
our
Sukrita.
Instagram
Thank you
Live.
for this
Thank you
wonderful
very much.
description about our portal and about everything. So, my first question is actually to Shukrita. Shukrita, why do you feel that we have World Mental Health
Okay.
Day, which is today? Why do you think that we have this day today?
Well, World Mental Health Day, I think, is so important because, they basically, this area of mental health is very, very important because it is one of the areas that we neglect, I think. We look at different aspects of our well-being in terms of, oh, I have this problem or that problem, but our mental health issues we tend to kind of put on the back burner. So, World Mental Health Day is very important so that we, bring into awareness, our own awareness, and among each other as a community. Let's take this moment to bring it to the entire community. How important mental health is for our overall well-being. And over more than maybe 80% of our issues are psychosomatic. So, if we know this very important idea that, I mean, the very important sort of fact that most of our issues are psychosomatic, then why don't we really get into the in-depth of tackling our mental health issues?
Your answer is precisely on dot. That's
and Dr.
exactly
Faiz,
why, we have a World Mental Health Day. Like, for example, if somebody has asthma or somebody has pneumonia, or this is something which people easily talk about. It's a table discussion. Okay, what I can do, which doctor should I meet? Okay, do you know some good doctor? But when it comes to mental health, it is somewhere still like a social stigma that it is considered. It's like a taboo subject. Very few people will come out of their closet and say, oh, I think I have depression or I have anxiety. And even if they do, the responses around are, it's nothing, it's just a phase. Try to, get some exercise, try to meditate, try to just, think positive. While all of these are very good advices and they work well, there are at times that first we need to understand that, there are times that you may need help. And second is accept. The acceptance of mental health is currently very, very poor. That's exactly why we have a day dedicated to this health, because mental health is actually not considered as an illness. It's more considered like a taboo among people. It is also an illness, like when you have asthma or like when you have pneumonia or you have problem with your menses. How those are the topics where you say that, oh, my physical health, okay, I'm not getting my menses, it's important that I meet a doctor. It's also important that when you don't feel right, when you feel low, when you feel depressed, when you're unable to concentrate on things, these are also of equal importance. And that's the reason we have this day. And I'm glad that we have taken up this subject today. And I request my audience to, feel free to first listen, accept, and speak out your questions, no matter what it may be. Something as simple as, oh, I have a fear. Is that also a mental illness? Feel free to speak it out, because till we don't speak it out, it's going to be within. And it may reach a point where it gets difficult for us to handle it on its own. So mental health is very important to pick up at the right stage and the right time. Now, while we talk about mental health, the most important topic and the topic that which we are going to take today is about child mental health. This is of utmost importance because, like you mentioned, only and only a healthy child is going to be a healthy adult. When we talk about children, we talk about something from 0 to 19, like, the toddlers, the teenagers, all of this age gap that comes in. And why do we feel that this is very important? Like, for example, when a child is between 0 to 5 years, it's the utmost important area of that child. How is the child developing? How is the child talking? What is the child learning? These are very, very important milestones in a child's life. And this should be seen and noticed with utmost care by the parent. Like, for example, if nowadays these apps are available where it gives you a normal milestone and what is abnormal. If a parent forgets to notice that, okay, my child is developing well or growing well, it is very difficult for this parent or for this child when the child is already like a 5-6 year old. And then we say that, okay, probably he's got ADHD, or probably he's got learning disability, or what do we do now? So for example, I just got a call from a father the other day, and he mentioned to me that I feel that my child has ADHD. I said, why do you feel so? Have you gone through any evaluation? He said, no, actually I feel because he's 6 years old and he hardly talks. So we're talking about a 6-year-old child who's hardly talking.
Right.
And now the father feels that, okay, there's
Yes.
something that should be done.
Yes.
So when I asked the father, why didn't you look at it previously? Did you notice
Yes.
it? नहीं, हमारा बच्चा तो शर्मीला है ना, तो वो शर्मा रहा था. So he's just shy. So we just felt it's okay, he'll grow it out.
Right.
But what happened in this period is, now when we start treating
Right.
with this patient, probably he may need speech therapy, homeopathy. He's not going to be at par. He's not going to be at par with the children of his
Absolutely.
age, because the speech which was supposed to
Yes.
develop at an early, at an early age,
Yes.
got developed at a later age. So that's why it is very important in 0 to 5 years to notice
Yes.
developmental milestones of your child. How is your child responding to things? How is the child's eye contact? These are very, very important things to notice and understand. Is the child, getting along well with the people?
Yes.
Is he clinging to the mother? These are few things. Why, again, these are important is, like you
Yes.
mentioned, that
Yes.
if we don't correct them now, it's going to be a difficult part later. So diseases like, behavioral problems, conduct disorders,
Right.
anxieties, depressions, autism and ADHD, which is the most spoken topic about these days. All these they show their manifestation in a little early age, like
Absolutely.
somewhere around 0 to 5. And by the time when they reach the age where they
Yes.
are between 5 to 10, there
Yes.
are other things where, they're trying to go out in the outside world. They're trying to meet children. How are they in school? How are they socializing?
Yes.
How are they reacting and expressing their emotion? Shukrita, it's very
Absolutely.
strange that in every Indian home and everywhere in
Yes.
school, physical health is very important. You have pain in stomach? Oh, okay, we'll take you to the doctor. We must correct your diet.
Right.
We must make sure you're exercising. You must stop eating outside. But if the child comes and says, I think I'm feeling low, or
Yes.
I think I'm feeling excessively angry, that is
Yeah.
considered as, maybe the child is just overreacting or finding a reason. 2, oh, my child is very mischievous. Or 3, that, I need to give more
Right.
strict parental controls or teach my child manners. So at this time, what is important is to first understand,
Yeah.
talk out to your child. At the age of 5 to 10, he's being exposed to the outside world. He's learning things. You have to understand and see what you can see best for the child, and what you can learn, and what you can see, and what you can, teach them about mental health, how you can discuss. Like a simple question like, how was your day? A very simple question like this can make the child see a lot of things
Yes.
about how he is, how is he feeling, some things like that.
Yes. Yes. That's it. Absolutely, Dr. Faiza. In fact, I'm a preschool teacher myself, and I have come across these incidences where, children are a bit shy in school, or they have certain things that have affected them at home, and they come to school in a different mood on a certain day, and you wonder why. And I have seen children 3 years, 4 years, 5 years old, they come and they're just not having a very good day at school. So I would maybe put in a little input here and say, parents could consult their teachers, because sometimes the children may not be able to openly express it at home, but the teachers notice that there is something that the child is going through. And it is very important to be in touch with your child's preschool teacher or high school teacher as they grow older, and to have a good rapport with them, so that they also give you aspects of the child that you may have missed when you were back home, with the child. And the child may have shared with the teacher, which has happened, where they come and they sort of sit with me and they would talk. So it is something so beautiful. And if I share that with the parent can also help the child. So the whole, like a triangle, the doctor, parent, teacher sort of triangle should be, I think, complete. We should holistically, from all aspects, try to help our children go through whatever they're going through and offer them pure listening, rather than from our own filters as adults. Children go through so much. So, we have to just allow them to speak, like you said, Dr. Faiza, allow them to express themselves in whatever way. I've seen 2,
Beautifully.
3, 4-year-olds
Here I'll
express
just give you a
themselves
small example.
beautifully
If a child is
through
saying, I'm very
drawing.
angry, the
Yeah.
simplest way that, you can, identify is give the paper, give the
Yes.
child a paper and ask them to draw. That itself, the child will be able to express what the
Yes.
child is feeling. Do
Yes.
not shun the child. Oh, this is not the right way to behave. This is not the right thing to do. Teach them even how to handle disappointments. These are very important factors.
Yes.
And the fact that you said the parents, yes, a lot of learning disabilities,
Yes.
are first identified by the teacher than the parent. And when the teacher communicates with the parents, they as a team can do wonderfully well. It is little delicate to handle the child well, not put them into pure pressure, not be forceful, not be angry. Acceptance is the key over here. That accept it and work on it. Like, for example, there are a lot of kids who come with a lot of fears and manias.
Right.
I'll just give you an example of a patient we had. And this patient came to us with alopecia. Alopecia is hair fall and spots. And the parents said that whenever there is exam, that he's so stressed that he goes into, this hair fall things. Maybe it's hormonal, maybe it's stress related. And like in homeopathy, what we do is it's not like a buffet system, everything out there. It's more like an a la carte where we give a lot of importance to, who the child is. If what is the temperament? Is he a shy child? Is he an aggressive child? What are his fears? What are his hobbies? How would he react in particular situation? What is his physical generals? Like, what are his cravings? What is his sleep position?
Yeah.
What are the things that make him stressful? We try to be the child with the child and go through this journey with them and try to get symptoms in every aspect, so that the treatment that we offer is like, like a personalized, tailor-made treatment for the child. A shy child can be fearful also, and a shy child can be aggressive also. They can have both its variant. And when we homeopathically treat, there are different remedies which come for this. That's why it's very important to, understand the child totally in detail. Like, for example, this child, when we tried talking to the child, we understood that, he was extremely lazy. He would keep postponing things, not study, do his homework. And when the right time would come before exam, he's very stressed. Okay, now what do I do? How do I perform well? Okay, my father is going to shout at me. My mother said I need to get, this grade, etc. I need to be there. So how do I go about with this? So in such case, the child would get extremely stressed before the exam because he would have this performance anxiety and he didn't know how to cope up. So when he came to us, we started talking. We understood that definitely there was an attributing factor about, stress about before the exam, what to do. But in our follow-ups, what we understood is that there was the parents reported that he has a foul odor from his mouth and there was some particles seen in his, between his teeth. And on examining, we realized that, there were hair particles inside. So this was not a hormonal condition or a stress that we were referring to. It was actually a pattern that the child developed. It is called as trichotillomania, in which the child gets so stressed that he pulls out his own hair and either he tries to hide it somewhere or he tries to eat it himself so that nobody can see. So every time before exam, this child would go into this extreme stressful situation and feel the intensity of this. So, if you just say, oh, my child is fearful, oh, he has alopecia, you cannot come to this detail until you go into a complete case evaluation. And even after you can't just tell the child, oh, you can't do this. This is wrong. The child will, he will go more backwards and not express himself. You have to be the child with them, discuss it out, talk it out. And these are the ways where the parents' role plays a very important thing. A lot of times, anxieties of parents also reflected into children. How the parent behaves is also to the children. One mother once came and told me that, oh, my child, suddenly he just starts shouting. And, anything we don't give him, he just, throws things. That's exactly how the father behaved at home. So it was just a replication of that. So these things are very, very important in that aspect.
Absolutely. Yes, Dr. Faiza, you touched upon important points here. Children learn a lot through observation. So the atmosphere of the house, how the parents interact with one another, how they talk to one another is so very important. We can't talk one language with our children and talk another language with our spouse. We have to, there has to be some sort of a middle ground where, the children also understand they're picking up things. Your child may be just in the room and you're talking to your spouse and maybe you're having a heated argument and it is somehow affecting your child and you may not know about it. So yes, thank you, Dr. Faiza, for enlightening the parents who are on this Instagram live, and they'll I think they're going to take away a lot of these points. And be a child with the child. This is something, Dr. Faiza, as a homeopath, I'm sure being a child with the child has brought out a lot of the aspects. The children were able to express freely with you. And even as a preschool teacher, the children were very freely able to express to us, what they were feeling. But when you suddenly become this adult parent who's trying to impose or trying to force, suddenly, children will not take that well, and, their sort of healing will be hampered. And their
we have seen
expression
that a
also
lot.
can
Like,
be
for example,
hampered
I was mentioning
to
about
that.
5 to 10 years.
Yeah.
When you are going to be put strict parental control, you're going to not let
Yes.
the child express themselves out. So when the child becomes
Yes.
a teenager, he's going to become a rebel. Now from 10 to 15, 16, we are talking about a lot of changes, not only
Yeah.
emotionally but physically as well, that the child goes through. They're into a new environment. They're going through hormonal changes. There are changes in their body structure, and that is the time where now a millennial generation deals with something called as intense gratification. They put up a picture on Instagram and they are just sitting and monitoring, oh, how many
Right.
likes do I have, how many people commented, and if it is below a certain number, it suddenly hampers their confidence. It suddenly makes them feel I'm not good enough. They go into different disorders like not eating,
Yeah.
and or eating excessively, trying to lose weight, trying to conduct in a particular way, and trying to be somebody who's not them, and they get lost in finding their own identity as to who I am, what should I do. And that is a very, very important aspect for all the parents watching today. Dealing with teenagers is, I think, one of the utmost important things.
Yes.
Because one, you need to practice what you preach. You can't just tell the child, oh, you need to get up at 5 o'clock in the morning and you need to make sure your schedule is this right, and you need to study and you need to get a particular grade and your volume of talking should be this, no screen time. You need to follow the same thing. It has to be exactly, you're the first guide that the parents see. And
Right.
like in homeopathy, we have a lot of these things where one child came to us and she would vomit everything out. As soon as she eats, she would vomit it out. And to an extent where every third day, she had to be hospitalized, put on glucose. And when, you be with the child, you understand. Her main problem was not, some issue with the stomach or some issue with her acidity or gastritis. No. Her issue was that she wanted to be in a particular weight. She wanted to look in a particular kind. And the moment she would eat the food, she felt that, no, it's going to hamper me. So she would try to puke it out. So this is also another disorder which comes in, maybe in the past where, they have been bullied in school, or they're trying to set, with our social media and with internet, children are reaching, there are a lot of pros to it. Like, for example, in pandemic, we have stayed home and nobody missed on education, which is one of a very good pro. But at the same time, there are a lot of cons that come along with it. And this is something where parents should see that, what are their child doing? What are their child understanding? With the age of 10 to 15, when they go out, exposed to the world, there are different things that happen. So it's very important that the parent talks out, even about sex education to the child. It's important to inculcate all of this at an early age and to accept it. Like, for example, my main topic today is I want people to accept things. Mental health is also an illness. It is not a taboo. It is not a social stigma. It's okay. Really, it's okay to not be okay. Even it's okay for us to not be okay, and it's okay for the child to not be okay. It's totally
Absolutely.
fine.
Yes. Yes, yes. Dr. Faiza, you really touched upon it perfectly. It is okay not to be okay. And it's okay for your child to be in a space where he can be free to express himself without knowing that he's going to be judged for it or he's going to be punished for saying what he has to say.
Example, a
So
lot
that
of
is
kids who
very
develop
important.
ADHD,
That's very important.
a lot of time parents are not in acceptance. They do not want to
Yes.
accept it, that, oh, my, something is, my child may need help, my child may need homeopathy. He's not having any eye contact. He's not sitting and concentrating. They will try to resort methods of hitting or punishment. And this entire child makes the child more and more aggressive or more and more withdrawn from things. If you can just check, if we have Amisha with us, we can get her to speak more about, ADHD and share her personal experience. If she's here, probably it's a good time to add her.
Sure, sure, Dr. Faiza.
Is she there? Okay. So we just have one
Yes.
parent,
Dr.
who's
yes.
here.
Dr. Faiza.
Thank you, Amishi, for being here. So I'll just briefly introduce everyone. She's a mother. like all of all the people present here, and I want her to say that how is the way that she handled a child, and when it comes from a mother, I think it's more natural than when it comes from the doctor.
Absolutely. I would like to share my personal experience here about my son. I consulted Dr. Shankaran and Dr. Faiza in the year 2018 for my son's behavioral issues. When I'm talking about behavioral issues, I saw a variation in his, communication skills. He was not, at par. He was at the age of 4 years. He was not communicating well. The other things what I observed was that he was too hyperactive. He could not sit at one place for a minute also. So that was the reason when I thought that he needs some professional help. Yes, definitely. I tried my various ways and means, consulting various other, doctors and everywhere. But then when I got to know about Dr. Shankaran and Faiza, I consulted him. I consulted them. I spoke to them about Ayan's issue that I was facing with. Um, they helped me a lot. Their personal consultation to understand Ayan helped me a lot. The kind of medication they told us to follow, I followed those medication. As a parent, they told me about the food habits to be followed, the sleep patterns to be followed. I followed those food habits. So as a parent, it is very important first to analyze what kind of behavioral issues or what kind of communication issues that your kids are going through. Post that, you as a parent, you start following those things. Like for Ayan, what I did as a parent was food habits. When it comes to food habits, what I did was completely stopping his sugary products, packed food products. Nowadays, since parents are working, both parents are working, what we do is we immediately, have that packed foods, make them eat. So those things hampered a lot. That's what I realized when I stopped those packed foods, sugary foods. I saw a lot of behavioral kind of, hyperactiveness was, controlled to a very higher end. Sleep patterns, yes, what I did was a consistent sleep patterns that I followed as a parent, ensuring that he sleeps for 10, 11 odd hours consistently in a proper, environment. And 1.5 year, I was through. My son is excelling too good in his, class everywhere. And yes,
I must
homeopathy
add a
helped me
few
a lot.
things that
Yes.
Amisha played a very important role in helping the child too. It was not only that she came to us and she said, "Okay, give medicines and my child will be fine." She worked really hard in understanding and reporting to us. I believe you kept a diary at that time, right?
Yes, I kept a diary. I left my working culture. I left my career altogether because I had a lot of faith. See, I had tried all ways and means out there before I reached
Okay.
Dr. Shankaran and Faiza. Okay, that was my
Okay.
last hope. I remember when I met Faiza, I told Dr. Faiza that, see, you're my last hope. I bet on you completely. I'm living up to my career, everything, and I want my child back because that's what, as a parent, you want, right? You want your child to, be at par. And I found that, some kind of variation in Ayan as per his age. He was 4. And yes, Dr. Faiza helped me a lot in terms of
Thank
getting
you so
things
much.
streamlined.
Well, Aminshi, I must commend you that you took such a big step. You put your career on the back seat. You put your son's health on the forefront, and you really worked hand in hand with Dr. Faiza and Dr. Rajan Shankaran with the help of homeopathy. And this is where which we'd like to stress that it's not just the medicine; it's the hand holding
Very
that is goes with homeopathy, which is so important. And as a parent, you were there for your child, and that is so important. And this is you're an inspiration. I mean, to for other parents to also
very true.
hand hold their child
Very
through
true.
all this.
Thank you
That
so
is
much.
beautiful. Thank you, sir.
And you need to follow your doctor. See, the way she said, you need, very well, Dr. Faiza said that, you need to allow the child to express. So that's what
Yes,
even I did as a parent, sat with him for about half an hour every night, made it a schedule, sit with him,
right.
talk with him, understand what he needs, what is his requirements, and those things really worked. It was just 1 year that I gave completely, and I can see my child excelling in all ways and means. And I would like to thank Dr. Faiza and Dr. Shankaran on this platform for inviting me, and I hope
It's
this
really,
helps a lot of
Amisha,
parents
thank
out
you
there.
for being, coming out and helping the parents.
Thank
I think
you.
more than me saying what you said will matter a lot to the parents. because that's really with a personal touch and experience. Thank you so much, Ami.
Thank you so much.
My pleasure, my
So
pleasure.
like how beautifully she mentioned and expressed, these are very, very important things. And, we need to be, even during the pandemic, when we saw that, there were so many
Yes.
things, children are, there were a lot of questions about
Yeah.
pandemic. That's why I'll just quickly say some things about it.
Yes, yes, yes. They want to know because Dr. Faiza, during the pandemic, a lot of the children, the young children especially, the social isolation has happened. We all have been isolated, and a lot of issues, mental health issues, have come across. And can you please touch upon
So
how the pandemic
was
has
something
worsened
which came, which
conditions?
is some, like, if I remove the word pandemic and I say something coming out of the blue, something which came in all of our life out of the blue, something new, we don't know, we are glued
Right,
at home. We would wait for, our prime minister
right,
to come and say, okay, further lockdown. We would be glued on checking how many new cases, when things are opening. This was something that we all were going through. And yes, as a parent, what was important is right now things are way better,
yes,
things have opened up. But what is important is whenever something out of the blue comes in, like for example, a pandemic or a disappointment or a death, the parent needs to make sure that they train the child how to deal with this by showing how they are dealing with it. Oh my God, Modi ji has said no
right.
14 days. What am I going to do? There is no maid. How am I going to
Mm-hmm.
work? What will happen? This kid is over here. This, if the child sees you doing this, he already knows that okay, it's an unpleasant place, it's an unpleasant situation. Your anxiety is directly going to transfer into the child. A lot
Yes,
of parent, I saw that
yes,
when it was homeschooling, they would just wake up the child 5 minutes
yes,
before the class and say, okay, sit. No, you have to maintain the same schedule. You have to make sure he gets up on time,
yes,
has breakfast. If it's a playtime, he
yes,
plays in the house,
absolutely.
but everything had to be kept as per the same timetable. Then it is only that we can deal with it well. We in a way,
Yes,
whenever
absolutely.
something out of the blue comes, we should not treat it like, okay, now we don't know how to do, let's wait and watch, it's into somebody else's hand. The part to take control, express with your child, sit with your child. There was a very good advantage of pandemic where a lot of mothers got time with their children. So that was the biggest pro that they had. Like for example, my own
Absolutely.
sister-in-law, my nephew was a COVID. He was just born in 2020, so he was a COVID baby. But I think because she was not working, the time that she caught with the child, the things that she could notice around was superb. So I think whenever something like this comes, you should take it in your strike and see what are the advantages. And yes, a lot of mental health issues did come up because the child were bored, they were not going out, they were not used to meeting people outside, they were getting aggressive at home. The only way
Right.
to deal with this was to make sure that they, make it interesting for the child, keep play time, keep food time, tell them, get them involved into it, making sandwiches, how to do things. If there are no classes outside, you could have classes at home. There could be drawing competition
Yes.
between the family. There could be so many other things which can be dealt with nicely. So although now schools are opening up and things are happening, I must say that whenever any situation or time comes which is not the
Yes.
appropriate one or out of proportion, you must make sure that you deal with it well. A lot of time when parents come to us for homeopathy, I at times tell the mother that I
Yes.
think you must also come, because it's very important for her also to be relaxed, to understand her things, her needs, etc. Then she can inculcate that onto the child, and the father to be, an equal support and an equal, like a team into the child. So these are very a few important things. I think I've taken a lot of time, so I think it's time we called sir also and we invite him. And if there are any questions, please keep asking your questions. We'll take them up slowly.
Sure. Yes. Yes. I request our audience to please type your questions in the chat box, and Dr. Faiza will try her best to answer it. And I don't see Dr. Shankaran online right now, so I will request Dr. Rajan Shankaran to please um, uh,
I
come
believe
on,
he's there. I can
please.
see.
So till then, Dr. Faiza,
Yeah.
Is he there? Mm, uh, okay. All right. I'm not able to see
I've
Dr.
mentioned it
Rajan
down in the
Shankaran
comment, so
on
you can click. In the meanwhile, yes, to all the
one.
parents out there, try to see what's the best.
Okay.
And when you deal with these disorders, I believe homeopathy, like Amishi mentioned, she went everywhere and then came here. I believe homeopathy should be the first line of treatment, because it's like a tailor-made treatment for your child. Understanding their dreams. A lot of times, when people come to us with bedwetting, the actual problem is something like a PTSD, like a post-traumatic stress disorder. The child was scolded at or bullied in school, and that led to this, bedwetting, etc. So there are very important things from homeopathic perspective to make sure that every aspect of the child is in the right zone. So I believe sir is here. Hello, sir.
Yes.
Hello.
Hello, Dr. Shankaran. Welcome to our Instagram Live. Sorry, we had a little problem getting you on, but now we have you on this very important day on World Mental Health Day. So, welcome, Dr. Shankaran, and please enlighten us about the role of homeopathy, especially in helping mental health disorders like ADD, ADHD, depression, anxiety, everything. Can you please enlighten us? Thank you.
Well, it is very interesting to see that actually homeopathy does not even believe in something called mental health or physical health or spiritual health. We do not split the person into mind and body and spirit and stomach and heart and lungs like that. So what we understand is that every one of us has an individual nature. The way we perceive reality, the way we respond, the way we are, the way we think, we feel, we dream, we relate, we work, we play. In each one there is a certain quality, a certain characteristic. You can say there is a certain pace or a speed. You will find some people speak very fast, but these people also walk very fast. They also eat very fast. So the whole pace of this individual is fast, Hardly you will find somebody speaking and walking very slowly. This is not possible, right? So there is a whole state of being that is reflected in the mind and the body together. So when we treat a person, we try to understand this state. Another example, there was a child who came with severe eczema from head to the toe. When we asked the symptom, he said, the itching is so violent. And he was sitting in my clinic and you see this violence that you saw on the skin. When you asked his nature, he said he's so violent that this child, he used to pray to the goddess every day, but when the itching became more, he went and tore the picture of the goddess. So the violence in the body is also reflected in the violence in the mind. So the restlessness of the body is reflected as attention deficit in the mind. So in homeopathy, we treat the whole person, mind and body. And when our medicine works, it acts on not only the mental health, but also the physical health or the whole health of the person. This is one aspect of it. The other aspect, as Dr. Faiza and you also, and the mother of the child who came, Amishi, all of you emphasize, is very importantly to identify the triggering factors that excite abnormal mind states in the child, and how to give. For example, you say ADHD is attention deficit hyperactive disorder. Sometimes I wonder if attention deficit, normally by this we mean the child cannot give attention for a long time to something. His attention keeps wandering. I wonder whether it is also due to attention deficit on our part towards the child. Whether the child is feeling less attention. So I say attention deficit means the child is feeling an attention deficit also. It is possible. So what is the child experiencing? This is what the homeopath tries to find out by various means, by talking to the child, by storytelling, by drawings, by this and that. We try to get into the perception of the child. And then we
Okay.
try to match a remedy and also guide the parent. For example, some parents may be over demanding. Nowadays, almost all
Yes.
parents are pushing the child, or perform, 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 perform.
Yes.
You
Yes.
have to get this marks. You have to, I tell you one thing, honestly, as I am
Yes.
also parent, I can tell you,
Yes.
I used to go to the, my children's school for their annual races and all. And I would
Right.
sit there hoping my child will come first. Now this is
Yes.
normal.
Right,
But
sir.
this puts pressure on the child. You see,
Yes.
not every child can come first, only one child can come.
Yes.
Nowadays, talent contests on TV.
Oh,
I
yes.
don't know if you know how much pressure that child is put
Yes.
under. And when he goes there and doesn't, make the grade, what kind of.
Absolutely.
So, are we really teaching the child to live and enjoy life and
Right.
enjoy participating and enjoy being? So
Right.
sometimes I have a child who had a very, very bad condition called Crohn's disease. So
Mm-hmm.
I used to tell the child, next time I want to know, where did you have fun?
Okay.
This is all I want to
Okay.
know.
How nice.
I don't want to know anything.
How
I don't
lovely.
want to know how you did in this. Where did you have fun? Did
Yes.
you take a
Absolutely.
little frog and put it in your teacher's handbag or not?
Yes.
Tell me.
Yes.
I want you to have fun. So, there is a counseling also that goes on, but more
Yes.
importantly, matching the correct homeopathic remedy to the
Yes.
entire state of the child, where we take into account the child's mental aspect as well as physical aspect. What does he like? What does he dislike? Where does he sweat? How does he sleep? Does he feel
Mm-hmm.
hot? Does he feel cold? What physical symptoms he has? Along with what are his fears, his sensitivities, his interests, his hobbies, how does he relate to other children, etc., etc. And finally, we
Yes.
also take into account the symptoms of the mother's state during her pregnancy with the child.
Oh, this
This
is
also
important.
forms an important part of our history taking, because we
Absolutely.
believe that symptoms of that state might have some bearing on the current
Mm-hmm.
state of the child. Not that the
Okay.
mother caused it, but taking the
Yes.
symptoms of that state might help us to find a remedy of the child. So,
Yes.
by taking all this totality, when we prescribe a remedy, there is an all round improvement. And with
Right.
counseling, in terms of how to give a listening to the child, how to make him enjoy, how to talk, how to be, and how to be, all this is so important. And I think the other important aspect that, of course, a lot of people mention is the child's addiction
Right.
to
Agree.
electronic things.
Absolutely.
On the mobile phone, on the iPad. I will tell you, I was in Goa, and we were sitting in a restaurant of a very, very, of a hotel. And I
Yes.
saw that one mother had brought one infant, hardly this much. I would say nearly twice the size of an iPad. That was all the size of the child. And the child was put on a table to eat.
Yes.
And the
Yes.
iPad was popped in front of that child, was hardly 6 months old.
Yes.
And that place where we were was
Yes.
so beautiful. It was on the beach. There were trees. There were birds chirping away. There was, flowers. There was water. There was grass.
Absolutely.
And instead of showing any of this, the mother had just popped one iPad and the child was watching some mindless, God knows why. I didn't go and peep what he was watching.
Yes.
God knows what they watch nowadays at 6 months. I have no idea. But but I wanted to go and give a whole lecture to the mother, but I just shut my mouth. I said, let her come to my clinic,
That's
then we will see. Yeah.
Yes.
So,
Yes. Yes.
so are we, also are we contributing to the
Yes.
holistic development of the child? And we were talking about this pandemic, and I think
Right.
in pandemic, this digital things have
Yes.
really grown a lot. And
Yes.
even schools are digital and everything is digital. And I
Yes.
think that people are going to suffer severe effects of this, especially the children born and raised in those 1.5, 2 years of time. They are
Yes.
going to have a lot of deprivation of social contact and
Yes.
of really contact with nature also and contact
Yes.
with other children. And I think these children will come in for some kind of problems. And here homeopathy can help a lot, a lot, a lot.
Yes. Yes, thank you, Dr. Rajan Shankaran, for enlightening us on this because as a preschool teacher, also there is a lot of concern. We are forced to have the classes online, and the children of at very young age have to be hooked on to the iPad or the laptop, and it is really, really a sad situation. But it's a reality of today that we have to deal with. And I've seen parents also come to us with a lot of concern, and there's no sensorial sort of exposure and to exposure to nature and to the outside world. Like when I talk to a child about a beach, I show a picture of a beach and say, oh, this is a beach and this is what happens at a beach, and the parent is like, a 4-year-old has not gone to a beach till now, so they don't know what I'm talking about. As a teacher, it is scary. So yes, all these little factors, Dr. Shankaran, and I'm glad that they have homeopathy to fall back on, and they can really get the proper treatment, right, in these difficult times, because it's a difficult time for parents as well. I mean, how they are really nonplussed. They don't know how to deal with it. It's a new situation, like Dr. Faiza said, for all of us.
So I'll
Yes, so basically, even in these difficult times, we find that each child reacts in a very, very individualistic manner. And that is where
Yeah.
we can find a remedy. But as we
Okay.
have emphasized again and again and again throughout this little interview, is
Yes.
that we have to supplement it with the right way of eating, living, thinking, being, relating, and
Right.
talking to the child. And that Amishi was a really, really good example. And I
Yes.
really salute her that
Yes.
she understood the need of the child was for the mother, and she took away a year of her career in order. And
Yes.
many mothers have done that. And that's really a very, very important investment that you can make in the child's life. It could make or
Absolutely.
mar the child. So
Yes.
understanding that, and I would
yes,
suggest even fathers, why only mothers?
Yes.
So I think
Absolutely.
that the child needs both the parents. So if you are a father also, you must take out time.
believe this video is yes, very good. Whatever he
Yes.
was saying.
So, Dr. Shankaran was just telling us, Dr. Faiza,
Yeah, that's
about
very
how the
important
role
that we
of a
divide
father
the
as
duties
well
also, and there
in
are few things which the father can take up and teach, like teaching a child how to even drill something in the wall, or helping them play sports. There are few things which a father can pick up well and do. So it's
yes,
very important that the mother and father are also a team, not that the mother is saying something else and the father is saying something else. So that's a very
yes,
important thing which really emphasized, that not only the mother but the father as well. I was just remembering one instance. A mother came to us with a 5-year-old child who would
yes.
go to 18 classes. 18 classes, one of exercise, one of music, and there was few
Oh, okay.
classes which I don't even know what were they of. And I remember Dr. Shankaran asking the mother, okay, that is all fine, but when does the child play or
Mm-hmm.
enjoy? She said, what do you mean? The mother's question was, what do you mean? And I
Yes,
believe when I
yes.
was a kid, I think
Mm.
the most important part about our day
My
was to
God.
go down, okay, I've done my homework, now let's go down, explore, play, come back. And
Yes,
that was something that we really looked forward to and saw. And
absolutely.
like even you said, the pandemic babies don't know what is a beach. Cats and dogs are something which they are seeing online. So yes, I believe that slowly and slowly exposure and getting
Right.
out and helping them would be really good. Even inculcating the habit of social
Yes,
communication. That's something they have not learned at a very early age. So they'll be shy, they'll be fear. These things will definitely come up, and they have to be dealt in the right way. How sir beautifully mentioned that in homeopathically we treat them as a whole,
yes,
holistically. We can understand each and every aspects of their case and take it forward from here.
yeah,
So do we have sir joining, or
yes,
probably we can end the session for
yes,
today
yes.
and have the questions? You all can email us the questions.
Yes, please. So I would urge our audience to please log on to Dr. Shankaran's online homeopathy portal. You can book a free advisory call, which is a very important feature of our portal, and with any of our 4 doctors on the portal, and you can talk about your issues and see where you and the doctor can, collaborate, and you all can help your child, your adolescent. Basically, a whole state of well-being, your whole journey towards health can begin right today. Please log on to the portal and please email us care@drshankaranhomeopathy.com and start your healing journey today, I would say. To do something good, why should we wait, Dr. Faiza? Now that we have come across and we've discussed all these things today, thank you so much, Dr. Faiza, for enlightening us. And I hope that with this video, a lot of parents, a lot of teachers will be helped, and we can help our children of today so that we have a better tomorrow, because we have to deal with a lot and we can really support and help our children.
Thank you so much, and goodbye to
So
everyone.
thank you so much. Thank you. Goodbye.